Harambe YouTube. It is Charles here, and it's been a while since I posted a long form video. And while I don't make resolutions per se, this is one I want to commit to, which is posting regularly on this YouTube channel about my journey being a disabled middle-aged person. Some would argue that I am beyond middle age, but let's not dwell on that too much. So what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about what I've been going through and what I've been doing in my life while I use my under-desk peddler. I just finished my dumbbell session, and I always like to finish with cardio. And how much cardio I do depends on current pain level and ability at the time. So I don't even know how long I'm going to go today. I'm just going to go until, I'm going to try for at least 30 minutes. I can get up to over an hour. But don't worry, I'm not going to talk that long. So, about resolutions, after I got injured around the age of 30 at work. And 2 years later, I got diagnosed as having maximum medical improvement, which meant that I was going to be disabled for life. And initially what I did is I let it get to me and I gave up on life, passively and almost actively. But one of the worst things that happened to me was I became very, very sedentary. And as big as I am now, I was 80 to 90 pounds heavier at my most depressed. And I've dropped a bunch of weight from just doing the little things. Not some grand resolution, not some big change a few years ago, but a few years ago I decided, you know what? No matter what condition I'm in, I can dedicate 5 minutes to some dumbbells. That 5 minutes turned to 10 minutes. And over the course of the last 4 to 5 years, those 5 to 10 minutes turned to at least an hour of lifting every day. And while I never looked at a scale, because I didn't want my action to be reward-based, to me, the goal is not the result of the action, but the action itself. Meaning that since I already lifted weights, I've met my fitness goal for the day. And this right here, this is just gratuity. And, any weight loss, any health benefit is incidental. But when you do the work, the health benefit comes. You lose some weight. My A1C is that of a normal person, despite being diagnosed with diabetes. And it didn't happen for me going on a crash diet or going super hard at the gym. It was just little stuff here and there every day. And now, even when I wake up in immense pain, the first thing I do is I lift weights, and then I start pedaling. And when I first started pedaling, I couldn't go but 2 to 3 minutes. And that turned into 5, which turned into 30, which now I can do an hour on a bad day and much more on a good day. And while I cannot walk normally, I cannot stand for any decent amount of time, I'm doing what I can. And it's making a difference. And that's what, this time, when this time of year comes around and everybody starts talking about resolutions, you have that cliche of gym memberships going up in January and the gym empties out in February. And I decided that when I wanted to start a fitness journey, I didn't want to burn out. So I asked myself, what were the things that were going to cause me to burn out? The first thing was, that if you're disabled, you only have so much energy to dedicate to tasks. And so I, thought, okay, if I want to realistically work out every day, driving to a gym, getting changed, working out, getting a shower at the gym, walking back out to the truck, getting back home, that would be too many wasted movements. I would waste energy going to and from the gym. So I started buying dumbbells, one dumbbell at a time. Now I have a set of dumbbells ranging from 10 all the way up to 60. I eventually bought a weight bench after over a year working out on my floor. I eventually bought this peddler at, got resistance bands. So now I have a respectable home gym that even on days when I cannot walk, my living room is mere feet away from my bed. My workout bench and dumbbells are about 6 feet away from where I sleep. So I can crawl out from the bed to the living room floor and work out in the worst of conditions. So I got rid of that barrier of wasted energy. And I'm always trying to find ways to maximize what I have, do the most with what I have available to me. And with limited finances, because you know that if you're on disability, first off, it's very hard to get on. I have many friends who are as injured, if not more injured than myself, that have gone through tremendous troubles getting disability. And when you get it, it's barely enough to subsist on. And so I had a lot of cost prohibitive issues, and I had to save up for my gym piece by piece, and I'm still buying more. And as I get stronger, I have to buy heavier and heavier weights, but I'm grown accustomed to saving, and I'm trying to develop alternate revenue streams. If you can't tell, I am a big nerd. I'm a collector of comic books and action figures. And I have another YouTube channel, which is called Old Nerd Reviews, WY, Old Nerd Reviews Wyoming. Check it out, please. Let's get my subscriber number up. But if I can get enough subscriptions on that, I can make a little bit of income off of talking about a passion of mine. So that's why I've been posting so much, is I've been putting a lot of my energy into that channel. And, be rest assured that just because I'm not posting, as long as I'm breathing, I know that I can make it because I have a track record of it. Of doing a little bit every day, leading to more and more and more. And people, they get so discouraged by setting a big grand plan on January 1st, and they go hard January 1st. They go hard in the gym January 2nd. They go hard January 3rd, and then they burn out. And they take a rest day and a cheat day. And they go again. And then they burn out. And then a couple of rest days turns into being sedentary and realizing you're paying for a gym membership you haven't used in months. And, my philosophy on that is anything is better than nothing. And yeah, I worked out for 4 years, and as you can see, I am not a impressive physical specimen. I have big arms, which I'm proud of, did a lot of work for, big shoulders, but I'm a fat guy. I am still obese and overweight. But the secret is that's not going to stop me from doing this every day. I'm going to wake up fat tomorrow and hurting tomorrow. And I'm going to go from my bedroom to my weight bench, move them dumbbells, and pedal on this thing. And I do that Monday through Saturday. And it's not because of the scale. It's not because of compliments. It's because it's just part of my lifestyle. And we make things bigger than what they really have to be. If you think about, if you're like me and you got injured later in life, when you joined the workforce, it was daunting. And it was something that you had to get used to doing every day. Nobody likes going to, very few people really like their jobs, but it's something that we do because we need to. And with resolutions, be it fitness, be it a hobby, you just have to step into it. And you just have to get moving. And you just have to build a little momentum. And what was once daunting becomes a thoughtless habit. Before I got injured, I never exercised. I walked around a lot. I did a lot of bike riding, but most of my physical activity came from work. And, I got injured at 30. And then around 32 was at my actual peak of terrible physical fitness. And now at 47, if you would have told me that I would be actively lifting stronger than ever and pedaling for how long have I been going now? Over 10 minutes. At 47 years old, I would have called you a liar. But, yeah, the point of this channel, and I'm going to wrap up here, is that I am not incredibly smart. I'm not rich. I'm not a beautiful person. I am just a disabled guy in Wyoming living life. And after I got disabled, I wanted more than anything to see somebody like me that was living through disability, while maybe living alone, while maybe not having big finances, while not being quote-unquote pretty or good-looking. I wanted desperately to see somebody like that to know that I could make it too. And so that's my whole goal. That's my whole purpose, is to be that for somebody else. That if you're struggling, if you are, trying to figure out how am I going to make it as a disabled person, you see somebody who's in the same boat or worse boat than you, and you can say, if that fat guy in Wyoming can do it, I can do it. So that being said, I am going to get off this, concentrate on my pedaling, and encourage you, don't make a grand resolution. Just commit to something, a little bit a day, and see where it takes you. Anyway, thank you guys. If you watch, check out my other channel, Old Nerd Reviews WY, and subscribe to this channel if you just want a friendly face talking about my experience. I am not a professional, have no degrees. I studied a little bit of music, but I'm here saying you guys be easy and Harambe.